Who are the strangers in Deuteronomy 29? Are the black Hebrew Israelites spreading more falsehood, or are the Christians completely out of their minds? First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, who your mama and your auntie called Jesus, but his real name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Hassad. I'm joined by my beloved brother Deacon, a priest Akai, aka Deacon Genesis. And today we're going to be reacting to a debate that took place a few days ago on Clubhouse between our good brother Joel from Sons of Thunder and some Christian on Clubhouse. I think a couple of Christians might have joined as well. And it's about a very controversial topic within Israel right now, which is who are the strangers in Deuteronomy 29?
His name is Star Power, the Christian. His name is Star Power.
His name is Star Power. We'll call him Star. So the Christian perspective, and this all is pretty much coming on the cusp of God Logic, the brother Avery, the Christian brother Avery, having a discussion with Yawasop from Ram Gadal probably like a week and a half ago. And one of the scriptures that was discussed is Deuteronomy chapter 29. And in Deuteronomy 29, there are strangers that are present when the Israelites enter into covenant with the Heavenly Father. And so there's disputation as to whether or not these are Israelites or whether or not these are, in fact, Gentiles. So we're going to be discussing that. Now, I find it really ironic, though, everybody. Put a one in the chat if you find it ironic that a Christian loves to go to Deuteronomy 29, but very rarely will they flip that page and go straight to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Isn't that interesting? And matter of fact, Deuteronomy 30 might even give us some insight to Deuteronomy 29, establishing who the strangers are there, because Deuteronomy chapter 30, it's the same audience. And it says, and it shall come to pass that when all these things are come upon you, the you is the people who entered into the covenant in Deuteronomy 29. Let me just share my screen real quick. So, of course, let me pull up Deuteronomy 29 on another screen just so we can go back and forth. So in Deuteronomy 29, we see verse 12, that you should enter into covenant with the Lord your God, right? So we clearly see that there's an oath being entered into right here in Deuteronomy 29. Now, interestingly enough, the very next chapter, the same audience, it says, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon you, the blessing and the curse. So now it's going back to Deuteronomy 28. That's what it said, the blessings and the curses. So whoever's entering into the old covenant are also the people who would suffer the blessings, not suffer the blessings, but would be able to go through the blessings and would also have to suffer through the curses. Well, when you read Deuteronomy 28, one of the curses, or matter of fact, the very first blessing is the Lord will set us above all people that are upon the earth. So just think about this. If there are strangers, there are non-Israelites that are entering into covenant right here in Deuteronomy 29, how is it that they would be a part of the nation that would be above all nations that are upon the earth? But that shows you that there's a separation between Israel, who would be set on top, and all the other nations who would be below them, right? So that gives some kind of insight. And that illustrates that these strangers are just kind of, I have to, jump the gun a little bit. They're not Israelites, right? So I don't want to keep rambling too much. Priest, if you have the clip, we can kind of go into it.
Keep the commandments.
You got to hit play out. Okay, there we go.
No, I was. You ready?
Yep.
All right. And you see how nonsensical it is, brothers? So I'm going to ask the question again. Did Jesus Christ teach to keep the Mosaic law?
I don't believe he's on stage.
It's for star power then.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah,
can somebody bring up Micaiah? It's not allowing me to do it.
yeah, and also, Mark, bro, I really want you to come back on stage, if you would like to. come back on stage to
Oh,
finish the conversation. And
oh, you
you
gonna
know,
you gonna let you gonna let Mark redeem himself from my
yeah,
Luke
yeah, we're gonna have
20,
some mercy on
my
Mark.
Luke
Yeah,
10 question?
yeah,
I really
yeah, we're
feel
gonna have
bad. I
some
don't want
mercy
that
on.
brother to walk away
Right.
feeling defeated like that. He
No,
can he
no.
can tell us what he truly believes.
Yo, I can't bring my Kai up. It won't let me.
Yeah, it won't let me either.
Hold on, please. If anybody could bring the brother up, let's bring the brother up. Anybody, any one of the mods
There you
able to
go.
do it? Let me try.
Yeah, I just sent him
Yeah,
an
Priest, is
invite.
there any way we can
Okay,
get to
good.
kind of the meat and potatoes,
Um,
or is it about to come up?
okay. So we're back on.
Right now.
All right.
We got Star Power
It's a 10-minute
versus
segment.
Joel. Let's make it happen. Anybody want to go first? You can go first.
Well,
It's on
Star
you.
Power, will you take that question? Star Power, will you accept that question?
I mean, I will.
Is
I'll
is the
accept
Mosaic
any question.
is
Yeah, for
keep
sure.
is keeping the Mosaic law a part of the law of Christ?
I would say if you're under the Mosaic law, sure, yeah,
Not what he asked you.
but not to people who would not be under the Mosaic law, like people who would be like Gentiles or things of that nature. They're not under the same thing that the Israelites will be under. So,
But didn't the Mosaic law say that in Deuteronomy 29, even the stranger has to take hold of this covenant?
yeah, that's
I want to pause right there because I just want to say that the heathens, unless they're joined to us, they're not subject to the whole old covenant, which is the Mosaic law. They are under the universal laws, which is the covenant that the Lord made with humanity, which is Genesis chapter 9. If you got that inside.
Yeah, I gotta let me pull up a few verses too. I want to make sure I don't forget. Okay, so Genesis 9 with the rainbow. This is Genesis chapter 9, and let's start at verse 12. It says Genesis 9 and 12. And God said, "This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth." So
And
that's
it goes on to read, no, he doesn't command the other nations to be circumcised. Universal laws would be mentioned, or keep going in there.
All right. It says, and it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is verse 17, this is the token of the covenant.
It's earlier in Genesis 9.
Okay.
Where he gives those commandments.
That's what you're talking about. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every fowl of the earth. Then verse 3 says, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things.
So they get to eat everything. And what else?
It says, but the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat.
So they can't eat blood. Go ahead.
It says, and surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life.
No murder. So
Right.
This is the covenant that humanity is under. No murder, no blood, sexual immorality. Those are what's called universal laws. Yeah. That is the covenant that all of humanity is under. And then the Israelites have a stricter covenant with more detailed, compound, codified laws in the Mosaic covenant. Now, if the heathens join with the Israelites, then they have to abide by that legislation. Those are our laws of the land and our laws that we take other places as well. So the heathen would not just be in our land, not keeping the covenant. And I guess what Israelites and Christians, and I'm not even speaking about SOT, I'm just saying in general, Israelites and Christians, some of them don't understand. They think the old covenant Hassad is like, hey, Israelites, I'm swearing something to you. Yes, it is, but the Bible defines what the old covenant is. It's literally the law, statutes, and commandments. So when Christians say, the old covenant is done away with, they're literally saying the laws are done away with. The Bible defines what the old covenant is. Go ahead.
Exactly. And this is kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but just look at the type of language, everybody, that Genesis 9 uses when it wants to convey that this is a covenant made with everybody. Notice again, it says Genesis chapter 9, and let's just all read this, everybody. Look at this. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 15. And I'll remember my covenant, which is between me and you. This is Noah and his children, and every living creature of all flesh. It's abundantly clear. It goes out of its way to give the language that this is for everybody there at that time, and then in perpetuity. But it doesn't give the same type of phraseology as it relates to Deuteronomy 29. And Alex Dole makes I know the point that he's trying to make, but here's what's interesting. That actually goes to our point that we're raising, Deacon. So Exodus 12, the stranger that is amongst us, that's not the stranger that's allowed to keep Passover is not a heathen, because Exodus 12 and 43 says, no Ben the car, no non-Israelites shall eat the Passover. Number one. Number two, here's the interesting thing about it, though. If the strangers, the non-Israelites are under the covenant with us, how is it that they're not able to eat the Passover? If that's part of the requirement of somebody who's under that covenant, number one. Number two, here's another way we know that they're not under that covenant. In the same book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, and we'll get back to the video momentarily. Look what it says in Deuteronomy chapter 4. I think, what am I looking for? Is it a little later? The sun, moon, and stars. You know what I'm talking about? Here we go, 19. Deuteronomy 4:19. Look what it says in the NLT. And when you look up into the sky and see the sun, moon, and stars, all the forces of heaven, don't be seduced into worshiping them. The Lord your God gave them to all the peoples of the earth. Meaning, God gave the nations, he allowed them to commit idolatry. He gave them idols to go and worship. What sense would it make for him to give nations idols to go and worship, and then not too long afterwards, now have all these people enter into covenant with him? That would be a question that I would have.
Right. And the divine counsel. Why would he give them the divine counsel? I don't know if you mentioned that. I had to take a phone call.
No, that's what I just said. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let's go back.
The stranger comes in the house. If you're under the Mosaic law, sure. Yeah. But not to people who would not be under the Mosaic law, like people who would be like Gentiles or things of that nature. They're not under the same thing that the Israelites would be under. So
But didn't the Mosaic laws say that in Deuteronomy 29, even the stranger has to take hold of this covenant?
yeah, that's when the stranger comes in the house, right? And now the stranger has dwelled in the house of an Israelite. They're of course going to keep the customs. They're not going to go in the house and change the customs. That's just for anybody's house. So when you go in the stranger's house, like Paul had said, you're going to follow their customs. You're not going to go in there trying to force your customs upon them.
I
That's
don't see
just what
I
the
don't see
Israelites would
house.
do.
I don't see house. I don't see house. It don't
Oh,
say
you don't.
house.
Oh, you don't have to see house, but you know, it's just what it is. They're not telling them to go into the stranger's land and force the strangers to follow the law. If you're saying that, you should kind of laugh at yourself. And you are saying that because if you're not saying that, it's really no other conversation.
I want to say something about that too, because I said something about this a few weeks ago about how the Most High didn't make us like the white man. You know how the white man, the whole world, the lingua franca of the whole world is English. To fly a plane, you got to speak English. The dollar is the universal currency. America's philosophy and ideology is forced onto all countries, damn near. The Most High didn't make it like that for us. He never said, go to all these nations and enforce my covenant on them. He didn't say that. That is white supremacy. That's what they did. And not only white supremacy, because the Arabs tried to do that to the whole world. And it all started with the Greeks. Those Edomites who were under the Greek mantle, trying to put Greek mythology and Greek philosophy into everything. until we see it to this day. But I mentioned that a few weeks ago, though, about how, the Lord didn't tell us to go, because Christians say God chose the Israelites to be a light to the nations. That's a lie. In Deuteronomy 6, it says he chose us because of our forefathers. It didn't say I chose you guys to go and to force all humanity to keep the Mosaic covenant. So Christians really make that up out of nowhere, or that what they're doing is they're conflating light to the Gentiles and when that actually takes place.
Right. And I want to just say this too. Even the idea of the nations, let me put a one in the chat if you follow this. The fact that a Gentile would have to, like Joel just said, grab hold of our covenant illustrates that they are not in it. They have to grab hold onto it. We see that type of language used in Isaiah 56 when it says concerning the covenant. It says, the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord, that grab hold of the covenant, meaning it's not theirs. They have to grab hold of it. The Israelites don't have to grab hold of the covenant. The covenant is made with us. The Gentiles have to grab hold of it because it's not made with them. So this position that we're showing you guys right now, our position is that the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are, one, not Israelites, but two, and this is where the distinction is, they're not actually entering into the covenant at all. So you have some brothers that'll say the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are Israelites, which we vehemently disagree with. And then you have our brother Joel saying he's correct in saying that the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are not Israelites. It's just clear as day. So he can clearly see that. But then where we would kind of disagree, this is where we would, disagree, is that they're entering into covenant with the Most High, right? But we emphatically do agree with our brother that these strangers right here they're not Israelites. We have to be honest with the text, you guys. Every time it says, anytime there even is an inclination of, there could be a possibility of something positive for a Gentile or a stranger or whatever it is, now Israelites just make it, oh, he's got to be Israelite. No. But I'm holding a bunch
That's
of.
how you know who the scholars are of our community and who the rhetorists are in our community.
Yeah. Joel can clearly see that these strangers, they're being juxtaposed from the children of Israel. So it's painfully obvious, honestly.
Where in the hell?
Yeah.
How in the, for my Israelites who want to say these strangers are Israelites, just prepare to die 1,000 deaths by 1,000 cuts.
And what? And die you shall.
And we'll have to go clean you up. Let's keep going.
Right. You just stalemated yourself. So
what is he talking about?
I would like to know if you're saying that Deuteronomy is teaching that you have to go in a stranger's land and teach them the law. Is that what it's saying, Joel?
No, it's not saying
Deuteronomy 29 says that if you want to take hold of the covenant,
if you want to,
right?
But what I think
that's good though, because what that illustrate, Deacon, is there's not an option for an Israelite to keep the commandments. Of course, when I say there's not an option, meaning within the society of Israel, you either
you're
do
bound.
it,
you're bound
to it. You have to do it. Now, can someone say, no, I'm going to eat pork and break it? Of course they can. So I'm using that word within its proper context.
You'll have to pay.
Right. But a Gentile, the fact that a Gentile has an option to do this or an option to not do it illustrates that the covenant is not made for them. We don't get to go to God and say, well, we don't want to do that. We don't want to. No, this is the covenant that you're under. This is the oath that you swore.
That's what my daughter. My daughter's 2 and some two in a few months now, and all she's saying, I don't want it. I don't want it. You don't have that option as an Israelite. You have to pay if you break because you're bound. Exactly. So let's keep going. But what I think Star Power, which is the name of this Christian, he's thinking that Joel is saying that, and so we got to see if he is. But the fact that Joel just said if they want to, but let's just finish. I don't want to speak for him.
Yeah,
that you got to keep the law. Isn't the covenant what they want? Isn't that the whole point?
We're talking about the covenant. Let's go to Deuteronomy
Ain't that the
29.
whole point?
You brought us
The
here,
whole
bro.
point would actually be the promise. No, he brought us here and he's stuck
Don't you
because
have to
now
be
he's
in
trying to say,
covenant?
wait, hold on. What you just wait, let's just line
Man,
out
I'm not
something
gonna be
real
allowed to
quick.
talk with star power. All right, go ahead, man.
No, you will, but you're saying a bunch of questions and you're
It's
not even,
one simple
yeah.
question. To get the promises, don't you have to
And
be in covenant?
Oh my, you know,
Yeah. I'll just say this before, in order for you to get the promises, don't you have to be under the covenant? No. Here's a perfect example of that. In Genesis 12, the covenant is made through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the Abrahamic covenant is confirmed through his descendants. And in that covenant, which we will all agree, hopefully, is exclusively for the Israelites, it says concerning the Gentiles who are not in this covenant, I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those that curse you. Meaning, watch this. They don't have to be in the covenant to receive the curses of if they curse the Israelites who are under the covenant. And likewise, they wouldn't have to receive the blessings if they would bless the nation of Israel, those nations. So my stance would be no, that they don't have to be in the covenant to receive the cursings, just like they don't have to be under the covenant to receive the curses.
you said the curses twice.
Oh, the blessings. They don't have to be under the covenant to receive the blessings or the curses. We, as under the covenant, like Deuteronomy 28, have to be under it to get the blessing and the curses, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure the point that he's making. Maybe he'll go further and expound into it. It sounds like if you're in the covenant, then you get the promises.
And yeah, of Abraham. Now,
Duh.
check this out. Right. But you don't have to be in the
Okay, the promises of Abraham. Got you.
covenant of Moses. Now, you still,
Bruh, it's the
regardless,
one covenant.
hold on.
I believe Brother Yahweh all is saying that the Abrahamic covenant and the Mosaic covenant is the same covenant.
Yeah. Well, I would defer there, because the Abrahamic covenant is then confirmed through, again, his son Isaac and then his son Jacob. Yet we see the Mosaic covenant is the Mosaic law. Jacob marries his wife's sister. That's illegal according to the Mosaic covenant. So I would defer. I don't think they're the same.
Yeah, well, Genesis 15 and 17, Genesis chapter 15 tells you this is the covenant with Abraham. He gives this to his seed. He gives it land for the land promise. And then multiplication. Genesis 17 tells you what the father of many nations. So the Abrahamic covenant is clear on what it is. It verbatimly speaks about it. But is Exodus 34? Let me go there real quick. Exodus 34 tells you what the Mosaic covenant is. Exodus 34 and the tenor of the covenant. Where is it at?
Isn't that like 8? I could be wrong.
So 8. Let's see. Okay.
No, it's 27.
Okay, there we go. Write thou these words after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee. And they called the words of the covenant. And the 10 commandments are the words of the covenant. So the old covenant is verbatimly, and not just right here, all over the Torah, that the old covenant is the law, statutes, and commandments. This is why it's so silly for a Christian to say that, oh, the laws are done away. Oh, the laws are done away. I'm sorry, the covenant is done away because the laws are done away. Then sin is done away.
Well, yeah, and the first commandment specifically of the 10 commandments is thou shalt have no other gods before me, idolatry. So now we're free to commit idolatry because you're saying the law is done away with, the old covenant is done away with. That means the 10 commandments are done away with. One more point too before we go back to the video. We may mention this not too long ago. In Deuteronomy 14 and 21, it says, "You shall not eat of anything that dies of itself." Well, I'm jumping the gate. I'm jumping the gun a little bit rather. Let's go back to the video.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
You still, no, it's not. Now you still
Oh
went
my
into a
God.
verse You still went into a verse and you showed that if somebody wants to come into that covenant, which is going to be of that house, you basically just
What
showed that.
house? Why you
You
keep
didn't
saying
show
house?
you didn't show the house of Israel.
No. Why you
Okay.
keep saying house? Don't you mean with the God?
No, within the house of
Why you
Israel.
keep
I said
saying
it and I
house? Why you
mean it.
not saying God?
If you
With the
don't know what
God.
house is, if you don't know what house is and why I can't replace it with God, you already starting this from you like if this is a relay, you just gave me a head start like times 10. Just try to listen. I know you don't like listening,
Mm.
but try to listen a little bit. Because where I
But
wanted to go in this conversation, I wanted to pick back up
the
with
covenant
him.
is not
You
to
asked
be.
me a question.
Man, you can't
Hold on.
talk with you can. He
You
don't let you
asked me a
talk.
question based off of the of the information that you
Yo,
were
do you want
receiving
to?
from
Do
the
you
last
understand why I'm
reading,
saying God? Do you want to understand why I'm
and
saying
you
God?
won't even get my position.
Do you want to
Go
understand
ahead,
why I'm?
replace it with God. Then
Do you
go
want
ahead.
to understand why I'm saying
Why
God?
are you saying God?
Because the covenant is not with Israel. The covenant is with God.
With God to whom?
The covenant is with God. The heathen is not making a covenant with Israel. They're making a covenant with God.
Okay, with God to whom?
What do you mean with
What do you
God
mean
to?
with
What do you
God to?
mean?
Is it
It's
with
to
God to,
God.
is
I
with
think
God to who? Israel, or is this
You
with
gotta be
God to the
kidding me.
heathen right now?
It's with
Is
God to
this a,
obey Him. What do you?
are you
That,
telling me God is making a covenant with the heathen right here when we read in Deuteronomy 29?
This is the heathen's covenant with God.
yeah, that's where I would, I would definitely choose different language. Again, this is not like let me just preface it with saying this, everybody. Like anytime brothers may have a disagreement, and I talked to Joel before I made this video, so I don't want anyone to ever get this misconstrued. I love the brother Joel, love the brothers at Sons of Thunder. This is not like oh my God, look at this heresy that they're teaching. This is a point where we disagree, and it's not, it's not horrible and oh my God, but it's something that I think because of the light that's been shining on it for the past week because of some debates that have happened, people have been asking us about it, and so we're going to give our thoughts and opinions on it. Now,
I just wish we could have had more, because I want to know, well, there's a whole video out there, but I just wish he could have expounded more in that
yeah,
moment on what he meant by that's the heathen's covenant, that's the Israelites' covenant.
yeah, I think what he's saying is this. Yeah, I don't know. But that's our covenant. So let me just let's kind of unpack this. So earlier, about 30 seconds earlier, the Christian Star, I think his name is Star, is he's asking Joel, who is the covenant? Okay, the brother Joel says we do expound. Okay, shout out to them brothers. He asking him basically, who is his covenant with? A covenant is an agreement, right? So it's an agreement between two parties. Who is it with? It's between, like Joel emphasized, God, and then the Christian asks, and who? So then I believe when Joel says it's the heathen's covenant with God, I don't think he's saying that he says, just let it play. I'm gonna let it play, brother. I don't think he's saying that this is their covenant. Like when I say their, like it's possessive, meaning it belongs to them and it's between them and God. I think that rather what he's saying is that they are included amongst it with Israel in covenant with God.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can certainly, or whoever's behind the
we'll play it, we'll let it play, but just the positive, not even positive, because we're not going to look at this as negative and positive. Our job is to beat the hell out of the Christians, right? But we definitely we do have the right to cover and give our understanding as well. But the point is, the major point is, SOT understands that the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are not Israelites.
They're just not.
They're not Israelites, and that is proper. That is actual and factual. Now, where we defer, which we'll get to, is the covenant is being made with them or not. Mm-hmm. So let's keep playing. You bring it back just a little bit, okay?
Right now,
it's with God to obey Him. What do you?
Are you telling me God is making a covenant with the heathen right here when we read in Deuteronomy 29.
This is the heathen's covenant with God.
Wee! So God makes covenants with heathens. Great.
Yes.
Now let's read Deuteronomy 29.
Yeah, let's read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, you
read it.
guys want to go from the top? You guys want to go from the top?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's
Okay,
read it.
okay, great. It says, these are the
Now I know somebody's gonna say, "Holy smokes, that sounds crazy." That God makes covenants with heathens. But keep in perspective, though, a heathen is a non-Israelite, technically, and so we do see Noah, the Noahic covenant.
Yeah,
But again, we believe that this is, of course, our covenant. But I just the way it sounded, I know people gonna say, "Wow."
well, matter of fact, yeah, because now again, while we defer that this is the Gentiles ethnically entering into covenant with God right here, every single human being is under covenant with as it relates to the flooding of the earth. So that in itself isn't absolutely crazy. Number one. Number two, what is it I'm thinking of? Does it use the word covenant verbatim with the Rechabites? Is it that's
I'm
Jeremiah?
not sure.
I don't know if it says. So I'll have to look at it real quick. But the Rechabites, Jeremiah 35, these are not Israelites. Okay. And God made it, I don't know if it says covenant. We'll look at it in a second. Matter of fact, let's all read this together, right? These are not Israelites in Jeremiah 35. And the sons of Rechab, thus says the Lord. Does he use the word? Okay. I mean, that is a covenant, though. Jeremiah 35 and 17. Verse 18. And Jeremiah said unto the house of the Rechabites, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, because you have obeyed the covenant, the commandment of Jonadab, your father, and kept all his precepts and done according unto all that he hath commanded you. Therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Jonadab, the son of Rechab, shall not want a man to stand before me forever. Now, the Rechabites were, how do I say this for you too? These are Gentiles that shoveled our feces. So does it use the word covenant verbatim here? No, but it's clear. Put a one in the chat. It's clear that God is entering into an agreement of sorts, a covenant of sorts with these non-Israelites because they were doing good things back then, that they would be allowed to continue in their duties for shoveling our feces. Now, if anybody is not familiar, you can do some research on the Rechabites, right? But this is essentially God having a covenant with a non-Israelite. So for anybody that's taken aback by what Joel said, you just got to read your Bible. But again, we do defer with him as it relates to this position, but that statement in itself is not ridiculous.
Right. Okay, so I put a link in the chat if he did want to join and expound on the dialogue that he had. If not, it's all good. Yeah. Again, we'll just keep going.
Of the covenant.
Let me say one thing too. And I'm glad. Shout out to the brother Ratazan. All love to that brother. And I like to be able to do stuff like this because I have a good rapport with the brother Joel. Like, listen, Joel's nothing but a good brother to me. Joel's never done nothing bad to me ever. Like, one of the most solid brothers ever. The brothers of Sons of Thunder show a lot of brotherhood. And I appreciate the fact that, we're able to have these discussions and then, hey, brother, I see it this way. Oftentimes it's like an ego thing with brothers. Like, oh, this nigga, he said he disagrees with me. Okay. There's times when somebody says something that I thought I was right on, and they said, no, brother Assad, you're wrong here. This is how we build. This is how Christians build doctrine. And this is how they formulate doctrine and understanding so that when people come against them, they're all on one consensus to be able to combat it because they all offer their thoughts and their ideas. You know what I mean? So it's important that we're able to do this in a respectful manner. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna come on here and say, oh, these damn niggas from SOT bugged out, how they're wrong. No, that's ridiculous. I see the points that he's making. We address them. We give our 2 cents, and then hopefully we can discuss it more. And we all come to a consensus if that be the will of the Lord. But
yeah, and if we don't, then you guys take what you believe to be resonate more with your understanding and your position. You understand? So let's play it.
Thank you,
which
Jesus.
the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children.
I'm gonna rewind it just a little bit.
We read in Deuteronomy 29.
This is the heathen's covenant with God.
So God makes covenants with heathens. Great.
Yes.
Now let's read Deuteronomy 29. You
Yeah, let's
guys
read
want
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
you
read it.
guys want to go from the top? You guys want to go from the top?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's
Okay,
read it.
okay, great. It says, "These are the words of the covenant
Thank you,
which the
Jesus.
Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he had made with them in Horeb." Hold on. Verse 1. Who is it saying this covenant is with?
The
Since you
Lord
don't want to
and
explain how.
the Lord and the children of Israel.
Hey, hey, hey! I'm the one on camera, so they're seeing. Hey, hey, hey.
This
No,
guy
but it's
is
all love.
stupid, man.
You know, I
I know
agree.
what you're
Hey,
thinking.
that's what it says.
I know what you're thinking is I would have did. He said I would have did the same thing, but I get what he's saying. We'll let it play some more, and then we can come back. It's not that long of a segment.
Thank you. Now that we're done with that question, and that question is over with God dang it, one verse. Thank you,
Uh,
Jesus. Exactly. We
well,
can go back to.
can we continue?
We can go back to. No,
Wait,
you
can we
just told me
No.
what
continue?
it
Let's
was. You just
continue to
answered it.
read.
But star,
That's over.
but
That's
but
over.
star
You just
power,
answered it. That's done. We
but
don't have
star
to read no
power,
more.
star power. Don't you think we have a point?
No, you don't have a point.
Oh,
You just told me who the
All right,
covenant was with.
Hey, that Christian is an a-hole, man. Excuse
I
my
like him.
language.
I like him.
He's a bit of an a-hole.
This is a phone booth. They're fighting in a phone booth right now. I like this.
Okay, let's keep going.
Your moderation. Y'all just agreed to read from the top on down. You're not going to just read one verse and stop there. You actually
No,
agreed
I
to
wanted
read.
to read Deuteronomy 29 verse 1. That's
No,
all I wanted to read.
Star
that's
power, are
all
you
No,
y'all
kidding
you
me?
agreed.
agreed to start at the top and read down. That is what
No,
we're
no,
Right,
no.
doing.
y'all. So
I
y'all
don't
go ahead.
listen.
Y'all. No, you did agree to that. We all just heard you. You agreed to start from the top and read down.
Yep. And I started from the top and I read
All
down
right, so
to the
let's
end of
read.
verse 1. Okay, and it's
Y'all got it, but
over.
go ahead and read verse 2. Go ahead and read verse 2. Let's keep on.
Star power. Are you gonna hold on one second? Star power. Are you gonna act like
Hold
are
on
you
for a
gonna
second.
be like
I
super?
want you to understand this,
Hey
Joel.
yo, my man. Can I talk? Like,
No, I just
are
want
you
you to
gonna play?
understand something before you talk real
Are you
quick
gonna like
because you
yell
don't know.
over me the whole time? Are you gonna do
No,
it the whole time?
brother, I want you to not keep bombarding me with questions
Why are
when
you
I
saying I'm
came.
bombarding you with questions?
I think
No,
these guys need to set up a real debate.
no, listen. He's trying to the Jersey. Is it Salaki? I don't. Is it you from Jersey City, right, Joel? The Jersey City. It's like the meter is going here and it's trying to come down. It's like, yo, what do you say? Yo, my man. He wanted to say something else.
Hey, I know. When you say my man, like it's about to get real.
There's a comma. There's a comma after yo because it take a moment to like. All right, don't say that. Yo, my man. You know what I mean?
When I'm trying to talk.
No, hold on, brother, because I've
But
answered
why
question
are
after
you saying I'm bombarding you with questions when
because
I'm
while
trying to
I'm
talk?
answering them,
Why are you
you're
answering when
blurting
I'm
out
trying to
verbiage.
talk?
You're blurting out more questions while I'm
I'm
answering. So
not
it hasn't been
I'm
asking
not
you
yo.
a
asking you
question.
anything.
I don't
I'm
know why
trying
you're
to
listen.
talk.
I'm talking without trying. You
Oh my
You said
god.
I'm talking without trying?
Hey, but you know what?
What do you mean?
This guy Star Power, he came into our room one time. Whoever this guy is.
Did he?
Yeah, he did, and I don't know what we talked about, but I really want to go back and see. He probably ended up on YouTube. He probably got posterized.
Oh,
I'm sure, because
wow.
if he is unruly without decorum like this, and I'm sure that I probably got a little worse than y'all were all.
Bro,
No,
they're just talking to over talk each other. What did he say? Can we go back like 5 seconds? He said, I'm talking without trying. Is that what he said? Can we go back, Salakia?
blurting out more questions while I'm answering.
I'm
So
not
it hasn't been
I'm
asking
not
you a
asking you
question.
anything.
I don't
I'm
know why
trying
you're
to
listen.
talk.
I'm talking without trying.
What does
No,
that
You
you're
mean?
haven't
just
let me
over
land
talking me.
not one. Listen, you haven't let me land one time.
Why are you trying
Haven't
to land when
disrupted
you
you,
said
but
that's it? You
you
say that's
asked
it,
me
and now you move
questions
into the
because you
next thing.
asked me questions.
I didn't
One
So
ask
second.
you a
before
One
I
question.
can
second. Point
land,
of moderation.
not one
Point.
time have I landed.
Hey,
Before I can land,
No,
star
you're not
power.
better than
back,
me at this.
Star
you're back
power.
off your mic
You tried to
asking more
you tried to
questions.
do the Deuteronomy 29:1. We went there. You read one verse, and now you tried to quit.
No,
No,
I'm
it's
not
my
trying to
turn.
quit. I'm trying
What?
to finish my
Star,
sentence.
hey, hold on. Point.
How you trying
Point
to
of
finish your
moderation.
sentence when you tried to leave?
Point
Okay,
of
because
moderation.
go ahead.
Uh, uh,
Yeah. Point of moderation. Can I be heard? I think the brother y'all will all put a very simple question on the table. We've moved very far away from that question, and we get back on topic. And the brother y'all will all restate his question, and without a whole bunch of fluff and conjecture, can we just answer the question? Is that possible?
Well, there's an open
so
challenge
you
on
want me
the
to go back
table.
to the
The law of
law,
Christ thing.
the
I
law of
think
Christ
the
thing?
law
Yeah,
of
yes,
Christ thing.
sir.
Yeah.
Because I want to cook him.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to cook him on this 29.
Yeah,
But I understand. I understand. I understand. Because we get down to verse 11, he going to die.
It's
But
I can take
all right,
that challenge from him.
we get to that later. All right. The question was, is keeping the law of Moses a part of the law of Christ?
I thought I did answer this.
So that was it up on the Deuteronomy 29 segment. And again, we're only highlighting Deuteronomy 29 because as of late, the Christian apologists feel like they have one. We call it a prima facie because of the debate with our brother Yawasop and God Logic. And so Israelites have been weighing in on this, and so has Christian apologists. Now, now we want to go because brother Yahweh all said in verse 11 that the star power would die because that proves that the strangers, the heathens, entered into the old covenant. So now we can go to Deuteronomy 29.
I think this is what the focal his main point is. The brother said,
Okay.
this covenant means the strangers agreed to be slaves, agreed to eat roadkill, agreed to serve, agreeing to entirely submit to the Israelites as long as they sojourn, and that is their entire part of the bargain. That's what I think he means when he says that at verse 11 they're going to die. Because does verse 11 say that they're the hewers of our wood and the drawers of our water? Is that the point? Yes, that's what verse 11 says. So that's what okay, he's saying no, I didn't say that. Or maybe he's responding to you. I think he's agreeing with me or maybe disagreeing with you.
I don't know.
Right.
I put a link in the chat so you can come up here. But if you can't, that's fine. We can just highlight this comment. Where was that comment at?
It's a little earlier. Okay, he said, no, I did not say the heathen entered into the old covenant. So I think what he's saying, and Joel, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but here's what I think I'm getting. That while the old covenant was not made with them, if they want to take hold of it, they have to serve us. They have to, like you said in the comment, agree to submit to the Israelites. And despite the fact that they're joined to it, they are subservient to us.
She says Tazariot did a Car Chronicles on the breakdown. There is no breakdown on the strangers being Israelites. There is no breakdown. That's just something. That's just.
I thought you were about to say there is no breakdown on the Car Chronicles. I thought you were about to go all the way.
There is no breakdown of Deuteronomy 29 strangers being Israelites. That's just made up. But
listen, you guys, if you want to know, listen, sorry, you listen. You know, there's a little shot not too long ago. It wasn't too much of a shot. I'm joking that you took. So I'm gonna just say this: if anybody ever wants to know, well, Dad, where's Cesaria getting all this information from? Just watch us. That's where. All right. This is where if this is the source. All right. Don't you?
No, I'll tell you what. No, you got a point, Hassad.
You don't gotta come to nigga the Rainwater. That's us. That's a new channel name, Rainwater.
No, the way Tazariak debated God Logic last year, and then the new points he used this year when inspiring philosophy, you mean to tell me he wasn't watching our angles? That was all of our talking points.
You stop,
well,
rewind.
Most of them.
Stop, rewind. Stop, rewind. Shout out to Kat Tazariak, though.
Okay, so let's go to Deuteronomy 29. And at this point, I don't even understand. I don't even. So now, are we fully in agreement with SOT now or no? Because it seems like we're saying the same exact thing. Only thing we did defer on is if they were entering into that covenant, because that's what I thought they were saying. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess though he
So
can.
let's go into it and break it down, and we can just give our understanding of it. But one thing we do agree with SOT is these strangers are definitely not Israelites.
Yeah.
That is absolute stupidity. And then we'll open it up for questions, comments, and smoke in a second.
So I'll share my screen and we can go into Deuteronomy.
He said he can't come in the room.
Yeah, I think he's probably preoccupied with something. That's okay. So we'll just give the breakdown, and he can either.
Hey, Israelite, you know, like I titled our new covenant class,
Right.
Hebrew Israelite official stance on Deuteronomy 29. Right here. Go ahead.
Right. So the brother can just let us know if he agrees or disagrees. So Deuteronomy 29:1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. I mean, we could stop there, but it's clear what it says. This covenant is with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb, right? So then Moses calls into all Israel. There's a conversation with them. And verse 10, here's where it starts. Verse 10 says,
the brother's on. Let's
let hey, what's up, brother Shalom, King?
Let him speak his piece.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
you're heard. You can be heard.
Yo, when you said, can we comment on the room? I thought you was talking about the room we made.
No, I didn't see the debate.
Because we made a room called the Deuteronomy 29 False Dilemma yesterday.
How'd that go?
We debated a Christian on Deuteronomy 29.
Gosh.
So that's the exact. So when I saw what y'all was doing, I was like, oh, he's talking about when we talking to stupid ass star power, this moron. So I'm like, that's why I was like commenting in the chat. I was watching and I was like, nah, this ain't the right room.
Is that still on Clubhouse?
Yeah. The replays is up and everything. But what, not to say that what you're talking about is not correct, but it misrepresents what we trying to say.
Okay, go ahead.
The false dilemma is if you admit that the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are non-Israelites, somehow you lose. Who said that? Who said you lose if you admit that those strangers are non-Israelites? Who said that? Who gives a damn if those strangers are non-Israelites? Because once those strangers in Deuteronomy 29 accept and take hold of that covenant and agree to it, because it's in their hearing and they agree to it, you know what they're agreeing to? They agree that the Israelites who are in that covenant, the rules that they are following say that they can feed the stranger that's among them roadkill.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 14:21.
They agree that the Israelite woman that they separate from, well, they can't do that actually. They can't put her away all the days of their life. But the heathen woman that they come to dislike, they can put her away. Oh, they agree that the heathen that's among them, that has children among them, they can own them and sell them. They agree that the heathen that's among them, they can buy and sell them all the days of their life. See, that's what it means to be a heathen in Deuteronomy 29.
Usury.
And that's what.
Let's not forget usury too.
And usury. We can charge you usury and we can work you with rigor, but we can't do that to the Israelite. That's what it means to be that stranger that's hearing that covenant that's being made. We're not saying that God is making a covenant with the heathen. We're saying that the heathen in Deuteronomy 29 is a non-Israelite. That's what we're saying. And what the Christian, like Star Power, is saying, he's presenting that false dilemma. Like, oh, you're admitting that in Deuteronomy 29, that's a non-Israelite? Oh, well, you lost. Because, well, that means God is making a covenant with a non-Israelite. And we're like, yeah, that, you know what that covenant is? That they can be made slaves. And that's the point and the conundrum we were trying to place him in, but he didn't want to go past verse 1 as you guys played the tape. So
Right.
we had to make our own room, and we were talking to this dude named Jay the Smoke, and he allowed us to put him in that headlock, and it was kind of epic. But I thought that's the room that you was
Well, I wish I'd
asking me
known
about.
about that room. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, that I was like, when you played the tape, I was like, yo, watch this. I'm telling the rip, yo, watch this. And I'm like, yo, that's star power. And that's the room for the morning when I was taking a shower and stuff. But
Gotcha.
it'd have been a much better reveal. But that room is still on Clubhouse. But
Yeah. We'll definitely tap into that one. So
yeah.
my question, brother, would be, so just so I make sure I'm understanding your position. So when it says in verse 12 that you should enter into covenant with the Lord your God, is it your stance that the Gentiles, the strangers there, are in fact entering into that covenant?
No, the
But
covenant is made with Judah and Israel.
okay, but they're there and that they have to naturally, because they're amongst the Israelites, adhere to some of the tenets of it, is what you're saying.
They have to submit to it
Okay, yeah, I don't disagree with them at all.
because you're sojourning with them. So you have to
Perfect.
live as the Israelites live because you're with them.
Yeah.
Right, that's good.
So
That's
all
good.
we have proven, everybody, is why it goes Genesis and then SOT, up there, the Mox camp is over there, and we're the top camps. You know what I mean?
That nigga so stupid, man.
Yo, the other Star Power is a pain. He's annoying, man. He wouldn't even let you talk. But yo, y'all gotta definitely listen to the other room. But
Yeah, let's pull that up. Let's pull that up when you drop off. We'll pull that up too.
it takes a while to get into that debate, but it's with a dude named Jada Smoke.
I know him.
And
I know who he is.
he presents first, and then when we get to rebuttal him, we have to convince him to let us talk, and then he agrees to it, and then he dies right away, and it's real embarrassing for him.
All praise to the Most
That's
High.
good.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
praises.
yeah.
So I see y'all was up in the chat. What you gonna do, man? Brothers trying to get you into this truth. Y'all was up. You gonna
Yo, shout
take
out to
the
y'all. What's
stance,
up?
you gonna take the stance that these strangers is Israelites, or you gonna come home, brother?
I can't see the chat. I'm in
Yeah,
the app.
StreamYard.
He's on
Yeah,
his
it's all good. But we appreciate you coming on. We'll take a look at the Jada Smoke one. All praise you. How about you, Shabbat
Yeah,
King?
Shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom, Akim.
Oh, I thought that was Ram Gadol. I thought that was y'all saw from Ram in the chat.
No, that's a different brother.
Okay. I was about to say, I'll try to find while you're let's just go over Deuteronomy 29 from 1 to what is that 13, just for the Israelites to see, like, this is how you break it down. The brother from SOT basically have the same breakdown. And so this way the Christians, and like y'all were all said, Christians are not going to win with this.
Yeah,
Christians
exactly.
are not going to win with this because they're adhering to being second, third class citizens.
Yeah, and
I
want
my brother from the varsity. Okay, got you.
I want to make sure I do not forget this point, everybody. Watch this. So a Christian will try to go to Deuteronomy 29 to show where, see, look, God is making a covenant with non-Israelites. So this whole notion of Israelite supremacy and the Israelites are better than everybody is not biblical. One, as we're going to illustrate in Deuteronomy 29, it says that the Gentiles amongst the Israelites have to chop our wood and fetch us our water, go do slave labor. Two, and here's the probably more important point. Christians believe in something called the Trinity. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all one God. They're all co-equal and co-eternal, meaning that the God that made a covenant, that allegedly made this covenant where the Gentiles are having to serve the Israelites, be their slaves, fetch their water and chop their wood, Jesus Christ made that covenant. That Jesus Christ is a part of that. Put a one in the chat if you all understand that.
Damn.
And we know that according to Malachi 3 and 6, that when it says God doesn't change, that's his character, his attributes do not change. So if it's not for God to change, his attributes, his morality, it will never change, then that means the same moral fabric that God had when he said that Gentiles must serve the Israelites in Deuteronomy 29. Well, that's still the same God that we read about when we read about Jesus Christ and we read about Paul, that God did not change. See that? So this is why Deacon makes the point, and why Joel just made a beautiful point. They're going to die here. This is not good for them. It's bad because you're showing that despite the fact Gentiles are there, despite the fact, now here's what's interesting, and I'm going to stop rambling. These Gentiles saw all the miracles that God did for his people in Israel. They saw the parting of the Red Sea. They saw all the miraculous signs that God did. and they're serving the God of Israel, and God still said, you guys are beneath the Israelites because you're not my chosen people. So without any further ado, make sure to like the video and share the video. All right, this is an important build that we just have with the brother. Shout out to the brother Joel from Sons of Thunder. Shout out to Sons of Thunder. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 29. Look at this, verse 10. You stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains, your elders, your officers with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. I want to take a look what other versions say. In the NLT, the foreigners living among you who chop your wood and carry your water. Now, let me ask y'all something, chat. Have you ever chopped wood before? Like I started boxing last year, like a year and a half ago. And chopping wood is something that you'll do. And it's very strenuous on your arms, particularly on your shoulders, right? It's not an easy thing. That is some very laborious work, chopping wood. This is what is reserved for the Gentiles. How we further know this in Joshua chapter 9. Let me know if I'm jumping the gun a little bit, Deacon.
No, you're good.
Right. And then, oh my God, someone just made an excellent blisters like crazy. Remember, I forgot they didn't even have gloves back then.
Well, maybe they could have had, cloth around.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. But if they peradventure, if they didn't, their hands are going to be blistered up. See that? So this is very difficult work. It's a great point that the brother made. In Joshua chapter 9, when we're conquering the land of Canaan, I'll just give you guys a summary. You guys can read this on your own. There's a group of Canaanites that hear that word in the land of Canaan about to conquer. And so they make up a scheme and lie and say, no, we're not Canaanites. We're from a land far, far away. And so then they trick our ancestors into making a covenant with them. And look what it says. Joshua 9 and verse 19. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, we have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. They swore that we wouldn't hurt them. Now, therefore, we may not touch them. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us because of the oath which we swore unto them. And the princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation. Meaning that's not, yeah, you get to be alive, but we're not going to give you an easy life. Put a 1 in the chat if you follow. You get to live, right? Let's see what the NLT says. Let them live. And NIV says, let them live, but let them be woodcutters and water carriers. So yeah, you get to live, but you're going to have to be servants. You're going to have to be slaves. See that? That's checkmate right there. Now, let's go back now to Deuteronomy 29, because I know if there's a Christian watching, he's going to say, well, you're skipping the point.
Now, if you are a Christian or an Israelite that thinks these strangers here are Israelites, you're welcome to come on. As you can see, with our brother Yahweh, it's a simple conversation. It ain't got to get personal. We can keep it that way. But yeah, if you're a Christian and you think this somehow proves salvation, or if you're an Israelite who thinks these strangers are Israelites, please join the panel. Let's get some smoke, some lightweight, some vape. Let's get some vape. No real smoke. We prefer Christians because we're in a dispensation of destroying Christians and not debating other Israelites. So we will have conversation with our fellow Israelite brothers, but we are in the spirit to go in on that white supremacist cult known as Christianity. So we'll be looking for you guys in the back chat. And even if you have questions, it's fine. But until then, Hassad, let's just prove that, these strangers here, they are heathens, and they're not entering into the covenant. They're there to hear it and adhere to it.
Right. So,
and then we're going to go into some New Testament to show you why, even if you say they're heathens and you know that, why you have to explain how they're not entering into the covenant. Because if you say they're entering into the covenant, then you die, because of Hebrews 9 and 15 and Romans 9 and 4.
All right. So do you want to get to this dude or okay.
Alex, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, brothers? Man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, man, what's the question that you're posing right now for Christians or other Israelites.
You don't even know. He just said, "There's smoke, and I want it." All right. So, in Deuteronomy 29, the strangers that are there, do you believe that they entered into the covenant, or that they were just simply observers?
I believe they were entering into the covenant.
Okay. So how would you exegete? I mean, just contextually, let's just go to Deuteronomy 29 and 1. It says, "These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb." So you agree that this is somebody who's writing this happened. Someone in the future is writing down these events as history, correct?
Absolutely.
Right. And he's saying historically that this covenant was made with the children of Israel in the land of Moab. Does it say this covenant was made with the children of Israel and the strangers amongst them, or does it just simply say the children of Israel?
The text does read with the children of Israel.
Okay, so and again, I'm not trying to say this disrespectfully, but you're adding now that strangers are included in it. That's not present in the verse. That's you're adding that.
I just answered your question to what you asked, and in verse 1 does say the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. So I was answering your question.
No, I understand, brother. So what I'm saying is, if your position is that the strangers here entered into the covenant, why, when someone is writing this as history, wouldn't it include the strangers here in verse 1? Why does it just say the Israelites?
Understood. So when we read the first 5 books, everything throughout the whole Bible goes through Israel first, because he made a covenant through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob into the 12 sons. Correct?
Well, hold on. When you said correct, are you asking me to reply?
I mean, well, not reply. Just am I speaking factually?
I don't agree. I do not agree with everything you just said. No, I do not.
So show me in the Bible where the Lord spoke directly to any other nation outside the nation of Israel.
That's not the point that I disagree with.
Okay, so then I'm gonna piggyback on Exodus 12.
Real quick, though, brother.
Go ahead.
I just want to answer your question. So you said that everything, I believe you said the word, goes through the Israelites. So
every commandment, laws, we were to teach all.
We're talking about something very specific. We're talking about something very specific, which is the covenant. So the covenant is made with the Israelites. It's not with the Israelites and then through everybody else. It's specifically is for the Israelites. That's what it is.
Absolutely. The Israelites were the teachers and priests, right? Our jobs are to be the priests unto the nations.
Where is that within the old covenant? The context of the old covenant? I don't see that there. Where does it say that we were to, when we got the old covenant, that we're to then teach it to the Gentiles?
Yeah, what verse is that?
1 second, brothers.
Because, for example, were we to teach
I might have to click out the old app to go to my Bible Gateway.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
or you can just roughly paraphrase it, and we can find it for you.
Because, for example, brother,
we're a kingdom of priests. So
right.
I'm paraphrasing a holy nation. So I'm paraphrasing to find that verse.
Yeah, that's Exodus chapter 19, I believe. And in fact, we are a kingdom of priests. We are a kingdom
unto ourselves, just unto ourselves.
Well, yeah, we have priests to ourselves.
Yep.
Then we're a kingdom. Now, here's the rebuttal that I would give.
Okay.
Immediately after we enter into this covenant, we go to the land of Canaan, correct?
No, we wandered for 40 years.
Well, when I say immediate, I don't mean like, okay, I won't use that word. Soon after, right? We go to
40 years after, say that.
40 years afterwards. Sometime afterwards, we go to.
It's not sometimes it's 40 years. Go ahead.
Time passes, and we go to the land where Gentiles live. Yes?
No.
We don't go to a land where Gentiles live?
Where? Where did the Gentiles live?
Canaan, brother.
Canaanites are Gentiles now?
We can get to that. Okay. Well, so
no, answer that question.
Yes, Canaanites are Gentiles.
How are Canaanites Gentiles? They're from the they're from the seed of Ham. How?
All right.
How?
All right, just slow down. So this is a complete non sequitur, but just for the.
You're spewing out stuff no one called you guys out on.
Hold on, brother. I'm going to answer your question.
Let's go to. I'm gonna pull it up. You got it. I'm right there too.
Go to Genesis the 10th chapter, because that's gonna be my reference.
Brother, just relax. Look at this. Do you believe in the New Testament?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, this one hitter quitter. Okay. This is Acts chapter 7 and verse 44. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen, which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus, this is Joshua, into the possession of the Gentiles, whom God drave out before the face of our fathers. Who are the Gentiles right here in verse 45?
Also, our fathers that came, brought Jesus in possession.
You see why you should be humble?
I'm not trust me, I'm just reading, sir. I'm just reading. So you're saying this is a
We're not saying anything. I asked you a question.
but you said Joshua and I'm reading Jesus.
Okay, so did Jesus?
I'm reading from the KVG. I mean the King James version.
Yes, brother. Joshua and Jesus have the same name.
Alex, you better fight back. I'm going to
stop. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
So you don't agree that Jesus is transliteration of Joshua?
I do not agree with that because in was that 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapters, who came hold on. Our fathers
let's go back
baptized in the cloud, and that from that spiritual rock, and that rock was Christ. That's who that cloud, that rock was Christ.
Elder.
So I don't agree with your version because then in Hebrews, I believe in Hebrews it uses the word Joshua, but we know that that's a mistake.
Brother, Elder, let me try to be patient.
Go ahead.
Acts 7, this is Stephen when he's being stoned, and he's giving a history recap of our entire nation. In verse 44, he starts off by talking about us in the wilderness with Moses.
Yes.
Then after Moses was our leader, then Joshua was our leader. Jesus is just a Greek, like Deacon said, transliteration of Joshua. Christ and Joshua have the exact same name. Now, if it isn't Joshua, if this is Jesus Christ, let's see. Which also our fathers that came, this is past tense. So
yes.
This is history. Brought in with Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles. When did Jesus Christ bring us into the possession of the Gentiles and drive out these Gentiles? When did he do that?
So when he split the nations and he scattered everything. This is my understanding. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Would you like me to do that now or wait till you're done talking?
Hold on. It's talking about Moses, speaking to Moses that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen, which is his father.
Are you on the West Coast or are you on the East Coast, brother?
I'm in Chicago, brother.
Chicago. Okay. You familiar with West Coast rap?
I seen your lives, man. If you're gonna kick me off, just kick me off.
I don't want to be disrespectful, Elder, but I think the point is
I'm joking. Hey, listen, but we got two other brothers on. Either we're gonna get back to Deuteronomy 29 or let's get
back to Deuteronomy. Let's get back to where
let's get out of here.
I'm saying I don't even know how. I forgot how we even got here.
It's okay. It's all right, Elder. Don't worry.
I forgot how we got here.
So the point is we were talking about Deuteronomy 29 and 1, which says that the covenant was made with Israel. It doesn't say the Gentiles or the strangers amongst them. We can go to, here's what we'll ask you, matter of fact. I'll allow you the floor to prove that these strangers are Israelites.
That's easy. Instead of us questioning him, let's just let him build his premise.
So Exodus, the 12th chapter, it does put a distinction between the Israelites and non-Israelites, being the stranger, in order to take hold of the Passover.
Okay.
We can start at verse 44. Are we in agreement with that or no? Do you have a
that there's two separate strangers in Exodus 12?
No, I didn't say two, but it's I'm piggybacking off Deuteronomy 29 to prove that stranger in Exodus 12:44, starting at 44, is the same stranger, Deuteronomy 29.
I don't agree with that, but go ahead.
So in verse 44, but every man's servant that is bought with money, that has to be thou hast circumcised him, he shall eat thereof. And for the foreigner and a hired servant. So this is before we went into the land, before the 40 years, correct?
You're saying Exodus 12 is before we went into the land?
Correct.
Yes.
He didn't give it. He didn't. Okay.
Rules, it's giving us the rules for Passover.
Absolutely. So Passover was taking place after this. After he uttered this, when Passover came around, everyone was taking part of it before we went into the land. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So it's talking about the foreigner, and then 48 it says, "And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover of the Lord, let all his males be circumcised, and let him come near and keep it. He shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and one stranger that sojourn among you. Therefore, as soon as we got in the land, everybody just dispersed. I understand he did give everyone a portion. He gave Naphtali his land. He gave Judah, Levi, everybody their land. So you're saying that if Naphtali went into Levi's land, this verse is only describing him as a stranger?
What I'm asking you to do is very simple, Elder. I'm asking you to prove that the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are Israelites. You haven't done that yet. You're just giving conjecture. But if you'd like me to respond, I can, unless
Go ahead,
you have.
go ahead, Hassad.
Okay. So in Deuteronomy 29, they're strangers. So what are they estranged from to make them strangers?
Non-Israelite in this verse, in this
No, I said
chapter.
I said in Deuteronomy 29, it says there's the strangers amongst them. What are they estranged from to make them strangers?
Non-Israelite?
No. The people
Non-Israelite.
who you're saying, the people who you're saying are Israelite strangers in Deuteronomy 29, what are they estranged from in order to make them a stranger?
Yeah, share your screen, Hassad.
So if they weren't part of the 12 tribes, if they're not descendants of the 12 tribes through the males.
Wait, what?
So now you're saying that the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are in fact heathens?
Yes, another nation.
But I thought you came on here and said they are Israelites.
I never said that. That was never my premise, ever.
Then why are we even having this
Yes,
conversation?
you did. Yes, he did. Well, that's why we're even here.
Hey, if that's what you understood, I apologize for you, but that's not what my premise was. I thought
Okay,
I thought you guys were teaching, because that's why I asked you, can you give me the question? Because I just got on here. And you said, "Oh man, we won't smoke," something like that, right?
Okay, real quick, chat. Can I just ask that you maybe am I tripping or
No,
and if you
this is recorded. This is recorded. You'll be able to go back.
Okay.
You'll be able to go back and just hear what I said.
no, go back right now, Hassad.
That's what I'm doing on my phone right now. I'm doing on my phone right now.
We're about to rewind it right now.
Yeah, go back to what I said, and then your answer. I thought you guys were teaching that in Deuteronomy the 29th chapter, those strangers were Israelites.
Nah, that's
okay, man. Hey, well, that's why we probably ended up in Acts somewhere.
Okay, let's listen to it real quick. Okay.
What's the question that you're posing right now for Christians or other Israelites?
You don't even know. He just said there's smoke and I want it. All right. So in Deuteronomy 29, the strangers that are there, do you believe that they entered into the covenant or that they were just simply observers?
I believe they were entering into the covenant.
Okay. So how would you exegete? Okay, you know what? This one is on Hassad because I didn't specify as to whether or not they're. Wait. No, wait. This is not. Wait. This is not on Hassad because you said that.
Good, bro.
No, you said that they are. You said that they are in the covenant.
You asked if they're entering into a covenant. To enter into a covenant, I have to know what I'm entering in. So if I'm a stranger, I'm listening in, right? A non-Israelite. Go ahead.
Okay, so this one actually, I take that back. This is not on me. This is still on
you.
you.
So the point of contention was Deuteronomy 29:1, and then I'm making it with your ancestors. So we're asking if those are heathens, which we would agree with you. How are they entering into the covenant if Deuteronomy 29:1 and then what's that verse 13 says it's the Israelites entering into the covenant whose forefathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
So that he may establish the day for a people unto himself, a people he may be unto thee a God, and he have said unto thee, and as he have sworn unto thy fathers Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. What are you asking?
Right. So it
And
says,
that's why I started talking about we are priests. That's when I wanted to. Oh man, we're just not only a priest just for the 12 tribes. We were supposed to be a priest to all nations.
right. So
That's
you,
why I went there. And so if I'm listening in as a non-Israelite,
yeah.
and I ended up as one of the mixed multitude, yes, I'm trying to. I just saw what the God of Abraham and Isaac just did.
Okay.
So I'm taking a hold to their covenant.
So do you agree in verse 13 when it says that he may establish you today for a people unto himself, as he said unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Do you agree that the people entering into this covenant have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as their ancestors?
Not on the physical sense, no.
What does that
So
mean?
so 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 just like Jesus in the new covenant is taking spiritually adopting other nations, spiritually adopting. So
Where's that at? Well, no, we don't even got to go there. Let's just deal with the old covenant.
okay. So that's why I gave that answer.
Deuteronomy 29 says that he may establish you today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto you a God, as he has said unto you, as he hath sworn unto your. So when it says fathers right here, you think that means spiritual forefathers?
To the non-Israelite. If we're talking about strangers in context.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you who in verse 13, when it says, as he has sworn unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Those would be the sons of the 12 tribes, sons and daughters of the 12 tribes.
Right. So
okay.
only the Israelites have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as their ancestors. And it's saying that whoever's in this covenant is the ones who have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as their ancestors.
Okay. I don't disagree with you on that. If we're talking about strangers, you're bringing up this verse, but you're bringing up this verse.
But Gentiles don't have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as their ancestors.
So this is not a dig into you, Hassan. When you were growing up as a Muslim, you were a Muslim, right? And then you took hold. You took hold after you heard the word and that you found that you were an Israelite, correct?
No, I wouldn't say I took hold. I returned back to my identity, my heritage. For you to take hold of something, the insinuation is that it doesn't belong to you. Like, for example, I don't take hold of this hoodie. This hoodie provides me warmth. It's mine.
Okay.
Whereas if someone was to grab hold on it, grabbing hold on it because it's not theirs.
I understand what you're saying. So I'm saying the non-Israelite there, I'm saying is taking hold of what he heard. Because the Israelites, they heard God, they were there in the wilderness. They were there when God was speaking from the heavens, when, manna was coming. They were there. They observed that. So, yes, they are taking hold of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay. Where does it say that the Israelites have to take hold of the covenant?
You just read in verse 13. No. You said, where do they have to take hold of it?
Where does it say that where does the verbiage of taking hold, where does the Bible say that the Israelites have to take holds of the covenant? Or does it say it? If not, why?
Well, word by word, verbatim. I don't know if it specifies in that verbiage.
Right.
But we know okay.
Yeah. So then my question would be, it's not the Bible. It'll talk about the Gentiles taking hold of the covenant, or they joined to the house of Israel, etc. It'll use that type
Absolutely.
of
Isaiah 56.
Why doesn't it say that the Israelites have to take hold of the covenant?
Why does it say they do? Or you asking me that?
Why is that absent? Why doesn't it use that verbiage for the Israelites? Why doesn't it say the Israelites have to take hold of the covenant?
I can't say if it doesn't. But what I can say is he said return.
Right.
So you're returning back to the covenant, right? Like you return to the covenant, correct?
Right. But
okay.
Notice, returning back to something that is mine. I don't
That's
have to.
Fine. I mean,
so just real quick, brother.
Your point is not going to get anybody into the kingdom nor take them away from the kingdom. So it's kind of a small, minute point. Go ahead. Continue.
The reason why the Bible doesn't talk about the Israelites taking hold of the covenant is the covenant is made with them. They don't need to take hold on something that belongs to them already.
And I understood that. And I understood your point, not to use the term of an Israelite to say take hold of. I understood that point.
Right.
Don't use that point.
You got another caller on here, brother. I do appreciate
Hey,
you.
man. Great speaking with you guys, man.
Okay, shalom, brother.
In Jesus' name.
Jesus,
man. He said in Jesus' name. Cornette, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Deacon inside?
What's up, brother?
So, so I have a kind of a question and an answer. So I'm on the side of the strangers or Israelites. So don't kill me just yet. But hold on. So my question was, in Deuteronomy 29 verse 1, were they inside the land already?
No. Well, let me slow down. When the author is writing it, or in the context in which the people are there?
In the context when the people are there.
No, they're not in the land.
Okay, so when we go back to Numbers 32 verse 33, right? Go there real quick.
Numbers 32 and 33.
Okay. And I can't pull it up. Can you read that for me any chance? Or
Numbers 32 and 33. It says,
yeah.
And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and unto the half tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the lands with the cities thereof in the coast, even the cities of the country round about.
Okay. So during this time of Deuteronomy 29 verse 1, this is after this happened right here, correct?
Yes.
So the land of Moab, where they're at, is actually the land of Reuben.
Okay.
At this time.
Right. But what was given to us was the land of Canaan, though, right? That's the promised land that is throughout to us.
Yes, I agree.
So
but
we're not in that land yet, are we?
Not in that land, but Reuben, Manasseh, and Gad are part of Israel, correct?
Yes, they certainly are.
So in a way, could we kind of see it as... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Okay. So in a way, we can kind of see it as Reuben is part of Israel, and all the rest of the tribes were there with them. So it could be in a sense of the tribes that were in the land of Reuben were considered strangers, and from Manasseh as well, because Manasseh and Gad were part of Israel that weren't part of the land of Canaan, or East Manasseh at least.
And I appreciate you coming on here, but do you see it's so much speculation with that, number one. And number two, it says in Deuteronomy 29, you stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers, with all the men of Israel. That would include Reuben and Manasseh, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're all there. Yes, I agree.
Then it says your little ones, your wives. So all the men of Israel, including Reuben and Manasseh, are covered in verse 10, right?
Well, they're covered in verse 10 and all the... Well, keep going verse 11 as well.
Right. So we already have all the Manassites, the men of the Manassites, and the officers and the elders and the captains covered in verse 10.
Every captain from every tribe. Right.
Then it says your little ones, your wives, and the stranger that is in that camp.
Man, it's just too much. It's compartmentalizing and itemizing too much for this to be the same thing.
Right. Because now you would have to take the stance of the strangers here are the Manassites and Reubenites, except for the captains and elders and officers and their wives and their kids. This is all the other ones. That's the position that you'd have to take, which I would hope that you wouldn't take that, because I think
it's kind of like 2 Chronicles 15 verse 9. But out of the if you were to go to the LXX, for instance, right? And although he was calling, let me go there real quick.
The strangers that were out of Manasseh, and is what it says, I think, in Ephraim, something like that.
Yes, strangers of Ephraim and Manasseh and Simeon.
Yeah, but what's the context in which 2 Chronicles is taking place?
Let's go to it real quick. Let me go there. Hold on one second.
Yeah, look at this. This is 2 Chronicles 15:8. And when Asa heard these words, it's the king, and the prophecy of Oded the prophet, he took courage. This is well after Israel is established in their land.
Yes, I agree.
Right. So this is a completely separate context than Deuteronomy 29, where we're not even in the land yet.
Yeah, okay. We couldn't be estranged. We couldn't be estranged at this time of Deuteronomy 29.
Okay. So in Numbers chapter 32, 33, when the land of Reuben was given, the land of Moab was given to Reuben, wouldn't that, I mean, I'm not saying it is or isn't, I'm just saying, but isn't that telling us that they were in the land of Reuben when this was being said to them?
Right. But again, when we talk about the lands, for example, let me see. I can find it. Here we go. This is Leviticus 25 and 38, just for example. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your God. So when we see the lands contextually in Torah, it's referring to the land of Canaan, not the land of Moab.
Okay, I get that. But notice in Numbers chapter 32 that God went ahead and gave them the land of Moab. And
I understand that, brother, but
yeah,
it's a non sequitur, and I don't say that to like be spiteful, but meaning it's not relevant to the point. Me saying that and agreeing with you there has no bearings on whether or not the strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are Israelites or not.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be my position, brother. But I appreciate you for giving your thoughts.
No problem, brother. I'll take care. Good luck.
Yeah, brother. Shalom. All right.
I just kind of wanted to make a point about how if you say they're heathens, which they are, but you cannot say that they're entering into the covenant. They're just adhering and agreeing, of course. Right. So I just wanted to point out Hebrews 9 and 15, how Christ's blood is for those under the old covenant. So if you say that they're coming in or they came in under the old covenant, then that's what you're saying. Albeit every stranger today is not descendants of them. So that still wouldn't make their point, but it's just not correct. It's incorrect. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
And also, too, Jeremiah 31. Look at this. Jeremiah 31 and 31. Behold, the days come, says the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with who? Their fathers. It doesn't say Gentiles. Moreover, Paul even confirms this exact same thing. Romans 9 and 4. Who are Israelites? These are Israelites according to the flesh, to whom pertain the adoption and the glory and that word, covenants. So there you have it.
And to answer your question, Jeremiah 49 and 11 is not eschatology. That's happening during the time of Nebuchadnezzar when he's destroying the lands that are round about. Obadiah 1 and 18 says they're going to be completely destroyed. Not one will remain. All right, Hassad, so we can go ahead and end it here, my boy.
All praise to the Most High. Look, everybody, make sure I like and share the video. Shout out to all the brothers that's pushing
Friday's class.
Oh yeah, we gotta. Don't go nowhere. Don't always say they're finna end it. Who knows? We might continue it, and you might miss them just because you left early. So
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Friday, y'all. Do not miss this. This is gonna be a barn burner. You see this right here? If Israelites are a cult, then so is Judaism. But Christians won't say it. So we're going to show how they call us a cult because we keep the Sabbath, say you got to keep the laws, Jesus is not God, and Gentiles will serve. But they'll never call these people the small hats who believe those exact same things. They'll never blitz the synagogue or anything like that. So we're going to go into the Talmud, the Mishnah, the Gemara, the Midrash, and we're going to show that they teach these things. They teach more horrible things than what Christians think we do.
Right.
So, but, you know, it's a double standard. It's just because blacks, BLACCs, bootlicking ass coon Christians, they hate their own people, which is us. And that's what it's all about. It's a double standard. So we're going all the way in Friday, if it be the Lord's will. Tap in on Priest Genesis mode, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
All praise to the Most High. Also, too, make sure you guys, I put a link in the chat to that video. And when you guys see this, hit that link. And then where you see that notification bell where it says notify me, tap that, because there's been a bunch of people that have expressed that they're not getting the notifications. If you hit that, you should for sure get the notifications so you won't miss anything on Friday. So do you want to bring somebody else on, Deacon, or no?
Yeah, who's Brujitsu? What's up, brother?
Shalom, King. How y'all doing?
We good. What's going on?
I just want to make clarification on something, right?
Mhm.
So would this be like similar to Rahab taking the oath that she took with the two spies, right? Would that be kind of similar to what's going on here in Deuteronomy 29? Not making her an Israelite or part of the covenant, but her agreeing to keep the commandments and um, the life that the Israelites were accustomed to at the time. Would that be kind of like the same thing?
I mean, vaguely, but when the connection I guess you could make is that when Rahab lived amongst us, there were tenets of the Torah that she had to observe. You know, she had to observe the Sabbath. She couldn't worship other gods amongst us, things of that nature. So the fact that she lives amongst us, she is not in the covenant, but she has to adhere to the tenets of the covenant. In other words, like she has to grab hold of it. So it's similar, I guess you could say.
So is that what's going on here in Deuteronomy 29 with the non-Israelites?
Yeah, these are Gentiles, non-Israelites that are, while they are not entering into that covenant, they have to adhere to the tenets of it because they're living amongst the people who are entering into that covenant.
Just like Rahab, right?
That's
Same
what I'm saying.
kind of.
Right.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to explain and expound on it a little more, because I have ran across this type of question before. That dude, we had a live with Dwayne, that dude Dwayne on TikTok, and he brought this up.
Right.
So it was kind of something I wanted to be able to make clear. Okay, I got you. All right, shalom.
All right, shalom, brother.
Brother.
All right, make sure too y'all get y'all mezuzahs. All right, it's a law in Deuteronomy 6. We got to write the commandments and put them on the posts of our door to remind you of the Torah. That way, when you walk out the house, you see you reminder of the Torah. When you walk out the house, when you walk in the house, you're reminded of the Torah. It's like fringes for your house. Sam, you're live. What's going on?
Is chapter 24 a cut on this?
What do you mean it's chapter 24?
It's Ronan, man.
Now
You're having your Star Wars.
Why do y'all hate me so much? Why do you guys hate me so much, bro? Why?
Brother, we don't hate you. It's just
all right. So then treat me with
you're
kindness.
An adversary. No, you're an adversary. What do you mean?
Yeah, we love you. We love our.
You're opposing. You oppose everything we do. So you're an adversary.
You're saying
how do I don't oppose you. I'm agreeing with you. I said, is chapter 24 a good cut on this?
No, I'm messing with you, Ronan. What's your question? Is chapter 24 of what?
So Moses sprinkles the blood only on the Israelites. You can't show where he sprinkled it on the guard, the Nakar, or anyone.
That's a beautiful point. And you know what? Hey, listen, Ronan, when you're right, brother. So good point.
All right, man. That's it, bro.
Except that the image of the beast is a robot.
Right.
Listen, you can laugh at it all day, but you think the mark is a chip. What's the difference?
All right, brother. We'll have a great day.
All right, man.
You know what I mean? All right, y'all. But with that, all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and we're gonna say shalom, y'all.
Shalom.